All right, what is going on, people? Thank you for coming back and checking out my YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. Today I hit 500 subscribers on YouTube, so thank you all for that. Thank you for watching, commenting, subscribing. Really do appreciate it. It's crazy. Today I thought I would talk about Elvis's concert years from 69 to 77. Um, this starts with, luckily for us, all of the 69 multi track material was released in one big box set, 11 shows. And even though these shows are rather repetitive, you do get quite a bit of fun stuff. Runaway has always been a favorite of mine. Um, My Babe. Then he does some rare stuff. He does Reconsider Baby, Rubbernecking, This Is the Story, Inherit the Wind, Funny How Time Slips Away, great versions of Memories. These are great shows. Like I said, they're they're very formulaic. He does his life story monologue in the middle, and I tend to skip that on re-listens. But the he's great vocally here. That's all there is to it. And even though I don't have all of the well, I don't have most of it actually of the multi-track material of February of 1970. I do have the opening, closing shows of that engagement, and when you have stuff, Proud Mary, Let It Be Me, Walk a Mile in My Shoes, Sweet Caroline. This if he was more a tiny bit more raw in '69, he's a tiny bit more reserved in these shows, and they're phenomenal. And well, yeah, you got CC Ryder there on the February tour, Lottie Miss Claudie, It's Now or Never. The fantastic material for sure. And then you have what probably most people would say was his best live period was the That's the Way It Is material. So you have the opening night, August 10th, and then August 12th, dinner show, with probably my favorite being the August 12th midnight show, where he sits down and does Little Sister and I Was the One, Are You Lonesome Night? And yeah, there's no denying that he was great here. Just fantastic, fantastic studio stuff as well in 1970. But he was just really, really, really good vocally here. Um, Even though I would say that the shows or the songs that he does in these shows, I believe that he does them better in 72. I believe he is a more powerful voice in 72 as well. But these get a bunch of extra points because most of this stuff was filmed. So that adds points in my book. If you can always watch it rather than just listen to it, then that always will get you some points for me. 1971, probably, I really, being honest, I don't own a lot of 71 shows, but, I imagine that he sounded good all of that year. Um, I do have Boston Garden. I do have the January and February opening closing shows, but I do prefer listening to this from 71. This is a phenomenal show at the Boston Garden. You got stuff like Proud Mary, Love and Feeling, um, How Great Thou Art, even though that's partial. I'm Leaving. He's still doing Bridge Over Troubled Water, Can't Stop Loving You, Suspicious Minds. Still fantastic in 71. And um, going on, oh, I guess I didn't grab on tour. Oh yeah, I grabbed this. So I actually this is my go-to for 1972 stuff, with honorable mentions on that August 11th and 12th dinner and midnight shows of 72 as well. and the on tour stuff. But I just don't think he was any better live than Madison Square Garden. And this is just my ideal set list of songs. Not one bad song on here, not one bad performance on here. Every performance of all these songs, in my opinion, are 10 out of 10. Um, I really, really love Never Been to Spain. I wish he would have done that a lot more in, you know, 73, 4, 5, whatever. But you do get tremendous versions in these. And Proud Mary, Don't Have to Say You Love Me, Love and Feeling. Then you would do The Impossible Dream. Do an American Trilogy. Um, Best versions he ever did of I Can't Stop Loving You were in these shows. I love these shows. I listen to these so much. Um, yeah, if I had a time machine and I could go back and watch one Elvis concert, it would probably be the afternoon show here. So I can't say enough about 1972. Great year. And then this is probably the best concerts of 73, and you can watch them, is Aloha from Hawaii. I just recently watched both of these um, in January because of the anniversary. Yeah, these are great shows. Um, by this time, Elvis isn't really doing a whole he's not overly like moving and jumping around like he would do the years prior. Um, Very reserved in these shows, but also very masterful singing as well. Um, yeah, he looked great here. Um, there are shades of like the 1970, 71 Elvis when you look at him, because he was pretty much back to, he looked like he was back to the weight that he was in 70 and 71. He just looked phenomenal here. Um, you know, Great songs like Steamroller Blues, um, Burning Love, Welcome to My World. Uh, great versions of American Trilogy, great versions of Fever. Um, I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry. My Way, just no weak spot here. Just great stuff. I did grab one soundboard from '74. Now, obviously, you can listen to the multi-track shows in March, or in March. But I like listening to the opening night, um, August 19th, 1974. Really unique show. Opens with Big Boss Man, Proud Mary, Down in the Alley, Good Time Charlie's Got the Blues, Never Been to Spain, It's Midnight, If You Talk in Your Sleep, I'm Leaving, Promised Land, My Baby Left Me, Bridge Over Troubled Water. This is a phenomenal concert to listen to, and I just, it's too bad that there aren't more shows in the same vein of, not always starting with the 2001 theme, not always starting with, CC Rider, switching it up quite a bit, but that's opening night. 1975, I grabbed this release called Dixieland Delight. This represents a great time period in 75 where, he was bringing back Burning Love, doing Wonder of You, Trouble, Little Darlin'. They just great concerts in May, June, July of 75. Just great stuff. Um, for 76, I think this is easily the best concert of 76. This is Final Countdown to Midnight, and you get to watch it as well. So you can either listen to it or watch it. Why wouldn't you watch it? It's incredible. Comes with a DVD. Comes with two CDs. Um, Just great, great stuff. Got Big Boss Man, Fairy Tale, Funny How Time Slips Away, My Way. Um, are you Are You Lonesome Night? Reconsider Baby, Little Sister, Unchained Melody, and the very rare Rags to Riches. This is just a phenomenal, phenomenal concert. And on top of all that, you get to watch it. And it's really, really good footage. For 77, I think overall of the material I have, I go back to this most often. Um, I really have a soft spot for Elvis doing Unchained Melody because um, it's, well, for one, it's him playing the piano. Um, Pretty much 90% of the times that he did Unchained Melody. I think there's only like one show I have where I think it sounds to me like someone else is playing. But, you know, just great, great stuff. And mostly, I think this material from February 21st, where he did Moody Blue, Reconsider Baby, Are You Lonesome Tonight, Release Me. Just, he he still sounded great, but he just sounds like he's tired. Sounds like he's exhausted, but he still is trying his best, and that's all anybody can do is try their best. But that is what I wanted to show from 69 to 77. Um, more, I guess it's more of me just wanting to get a gauge from you guys. What's your favorite year or engagement or concert from 69 to 77? I would love to know. I would love to have a conversation in the comments with some of you fine people about. There's just so many to choose from. There's so many good concerts. But yeah, go ahead and let me know in the comments. And once again, thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. Whatever day you wind up watching this, have a good one.